Ooh, it's a bit spooky out here in the early morning fog, but you've got to get up early to test something like this. And yes, this is a sexy and very racy SUV, though it's pricey, and it will cost more than the average vehicle to maintain. Quality isn't bulletproof, and it lacks some of the more commonplace technical features you might see in rivals from BMW or Mercedes-Benz. Hi, I'm Jeremy Cato, and this is CatoCarGuide.com. Thanks for watching, and if you have not already subscribed, please do. What we're looking at here is the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Estrema all-wheel drive. That's a bit of a mouthful, but there's a historical link to some Alfas of the past. As you see it here, $73,000. It's fast and it's fun, and it's worth a test drive. I absolutely love the design of the Alfa Romeo Estrema. It's a tight, compact, well-proportioned SUV that screams out, wow, this is for people who like to drive. It's an athletic, well-conceived suspension design with tight steering, excellent throttle response, and lots of balance in the way you can carve a corner and come out smoothly without feeling out of control. In fact, there is plenty of serious driving technology. Things like a limited slip differential and adaptive suspension. Of course, there are some things that need work and might irritate some people, such as the tiny touchscreen, and I'll get into that when I talk more about the interior. And another thing, it's an Alfa Romeo, and Alfa doesn't sell, more than a handful of vehicles all across North America. So it's not a run-of-the-mill Mercedes-Benz or BMW or Lexus or any of the multitude of competitive SUVs that are or claim to be performance models. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the design. And I know in this foggy light and using a black vehicle, it's hard to see some of the design details, but if you look closely, there's these lovely curves in the body side here. And it's a compact design. I know the windows are small, and that has some implications for visibility, but it looks cool. It looks very exciting. And then as you move over, you can't quite see it in these shots either, but there's a carbon fiber kind of finish right here on the side mirrors, the Estrema name right here, the low profile rubber here, these Continentals. You can see the brake calipers and the Alfa logo. All of this looks fantastic. I mean, it's a beautiful package, light, tight, and small. I love this snarly front end, the LEDs in this slash of a headlamp, and the Alfa grille, very traditional, very historical. I mean, Alfa's 111 years old. Back here in the rears, well, it's a bit snug that, I'm gonna bang my head every time I get out, but it's okay. The stadium or the theater style seating back here has me sitting just a little bit higher than in the front, so my visibility forward isn't too bad, which means I'm not likely to get car sick if I sit back here for very long. This cargo area is not the biggest in the segment, but it's adequate for a weekend getaway. And of course, the back seats, they fold and flip, and they do all the usual things you'd expect in any SUV. Well, the sun is starting to peek through and burn off some of this early morning fog. It's a good time to get out on the road in this Alfa Romeo Stelvio Estrema. What's under the hood here? Well, it's a smallish four-cylinder turbocharged motor, petrol, and it's rated at 280 horsepower. Now, that's not the 505 horsepower that you get in the Stelvio Quadrifoglio, but there's plenty of juice here, lots of pickup, lots of get up and go. You can have some fun and take control with this gearbox by slapping it into manual mode and shifting to these aluminum paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. And there we go, we shift down and we get a little bit more response, and all of a sudden, I'm in control. Let's be clear, this rig is not nearly as powerful as a BMW X3 M40i, and not as powerful by 100 horsepower. Horsepower can be overrated. What you have in this smallish package is something that's nimble and quick and happy to carve a corner and lively, responsive. I mean, all the things you really want in a performance SUV. Alfa equips this model with adaptive dampers. In sport mode, when I dial up sport mode, well, it can be a bit harsh, but that's not terrible. And the benefit is you can have some fun. You should also note that this car can be a bit noisy at higher speeds, and when you really push that turbocharged 4, well, there's quite the growl. These front bucket seats are marvelous, true sport seats. They really have great bolstering, so when you go around a corner, well, you're not thrown about in the seat. There's good lumbar support, good under thigh support, all around one of the better seats I've tested. And headroom and legroom here in the front seat, very good, above average, perfectly adequate for taller folks. The cabin here is relentlessly black, only marginally broken up by some red stitching and some carbon fiber-like trim bits here in the dashboard and in the center console. This tiny touchscreen right in the middle, I think it's 8 inches, it's absurdly undersized. It is a touchscreen, and there's also a redundant controller here that allows you to manage things more easily when you're driving without poking at the screen. And there are some other redundant controls down here, for example, for the climate control system. From the driver's perspective, though, here behind the wheel, which is a lovely flat-bottom steering wheel, well, the binnacle has a speedometer here on the right and the tachometer on the left, and in the center there is an information readout that gives you information about all the different things that are happening with the car. That's nicely done. Storage in this cabin is at a premium. What I'm really saying is there's not much of it. There is a small storage bin here in the center console, but it's really designed to hold your smartphone, not an iPad. The door pockets are quite slim, and they aren't really designed to hold big gulps or anything like that. You will find 2 cup holders at the top of the center console, but again, they're coffee size, not big gulp sized. Overall, if you are looking for a big, expansive cabin, this isn't it. Yes, the Stelvio Estrema lacks some of the latest gadgets in the marketplace, the sorts of things that millennials are really in love with. There's no wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. There's no self-driving capabilities, and no one from Alfa brags that the Stelvio Estrema can drive itself. The fact of the matter is the Stelvio Estrema is for drivers who want to drive, who want to sit in a snug-fitting, well-bolstered sports seat, who want to carve apexes, who want to feel the responses of a taut, well-conceived, well-engineered automobile. And of course, this car is for drivers who embrace Italian style, something different, something that stands out, that gets people craning their heads and, whoa, asking themselves, what the heck was that? Anyone who wants this rig won't care about Alfa's so-so quality and the not-so-great fuel economy. What they're looking for is excitement, is something that will get their heart pounded, and you have that here. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeremy Cato, and this is CatoCarGuide.com. Please subscribe if you have not already, and we'll see you next time.